bring the cards, cover, say, did you see anything? Come down, rip the napkin, and show them one card's underneath the napkin, through the glass. There are 3 of diamonds. You think when you ask them to tap on it? You can tap on it all they want. Scratch it. It's their 3.
Oh my god, you got it!
If it goes through the window, I swear to God, yo. No, it's not going through the window. There's no way. No, there's no way. No.
Serious, goddamn it!
No, let me see the door.
Are you serious? Let me see this. Oh my god.
I'm Taylor Lewis, and welcome to Liquid Card Through Window. This effect is a collaboration of my ideas along with David Mann and some of the other Precision Magic team. We've been working on this for over a year and a half. It's been in the workshop for a long time, and we finally came out with the final Liquid Card Through Window. So I hope you guys enjoy. First, what you need is, with your DVD, you will be supplied with a piece of plexiglass that's shaped like the card. If you ever lose this or break it or anything, you can go to your local hardware store and have them cut out a piece of glass the shape of a playing card, and it works just as great. So I've been using it ever since I've created the effect. Also, you're going to need a little magician's wax if you want. There's a method that involves this. There's an impromptu method that doesn't involve this. So just go and, if you have some that's good, just grab yourself some. Local magic store, you can get it anywhere you want. And everything else you need is a pack of playing cards. Alright guys, now we're out here ready to actually see this performed on a closed door, locked car window that you don't have access to the inside to. So you need your cards, and you need your piece of glass, which is going to go in one of your pockets. You also need a cocktail napkin. You can grab one off the street wherever you're at, put that away in one of your pockets. Walk up to your spectator, have them select any card they like. Say they take the 3 of diamonds. You're going to have them sign their card. Hand them the card to sign. As they sign their card, you're going to do a leg, and you're going to execute a leg turnover move of the top card of the pack. Your thumb just pushes over and flips. This is all it is, but with the help of your leg. Push over, flip, square, come back out. Get a break under this card while it's still down by your side, which you're just going to do by pushing forward with your thumb, pulling back, and putting your little part of your pinky right in there. So the cards sign their card, do a leg turnover, come back out with your hand palm down, stick it on, push it in, and square as you turn over. Do your double lift. Put what is believed to be their card into the middle. In reality, their card's still on top. After you do that, you're going to say, we don't need the whole pack, so we're just going to get rid of some of the cards here. Get rid of a good amount. The fewer cards you have, the better. So, I'll use probably maybe almost half. Put the other cards away in one of your pockets. Have them examine the cocktail napkin. Just hand this to them, have them check it out, make sure there's nothing wrong with it. While they're looking at the napkin, they're examining the napkin. What you're going to do is reach into your pocket and pull off a piece of glass. Pull out the piece of glass, and as they palm it, just in your palm, grip between your fingers and palm right here. As they hand you the napkin back, take it with your left hand with the cards, and then come out with this hand face down like this, palm down. Place it underneath the napkin and turn it over. And just hold the napkin. So that way it keeps the piece of glass hidden from their view. Ask them to examine the window then. They examine the window, knock on it, whatever. You're then going to come with the card. As you just casually step back as they're examining the window. You're going to turn. You're going to flip the top card over, which is their card, and you're going to push it underneath the piece of glass. And you're just going to do that under the napkin. So under the napkin, you just push the card over, turn it over, and stick it under the piece of glass. So you have the card, the glass, and the napkin now, all hidden under the napkin. They think all you have over here is the napkin. You can then ask them to hold these cards right here, or you can hold on to them yourself. You then walk up to the window. Say, look, you can ask them to hold the cards and then put the napkin on, and then take the cards from them, or you can set the cards on top of the napkin. Say, watch. Come over to the window. Place everything on the window. Like this. The cards, and you've got the napkin. Then underneath, you've got the glass piece with their card hidden underneath it. From here, you have two options. You can either spread these cards all around the napkin, or you can spring them. I prefer to do the spring, whichever one you'd like. If you spread them, just let the cards drop and show that one card's through. If you spring them, this whole time you have to be holding the cards and the napkin and everything so it doesn't fall out. You're going to spring the cards. Just bow them and let them slide off your fingers. Keep them kind of close though, so in case this does show through the napkin, you won't be able to see it. Spring the cards. Cover. Say, did you see anything? Come down. Rip the napkin. And show them one card's underneath the napkin. Through the glass. There are 3 of diamonds. You're then going to ask them to tap on it. They can tap on it all they want. Scratch it. It's their 3. Then from here, you're going to take your hand, cover everything, reach in behind the napkin, and lift up the corner of the glass with your pointer. So you're just lifting up right here. So you have the card underneath the glass. I'll do it without the cover of the napkin. But you're going to have the napkin there. So they can't see anything now. You reach in, lift up the corner of the glass, so you can reach the card now. Grab the card with your fingers. Here's the really cool part. You can either pull it out yourself, and really put presentation into this. As you pull the card out, hand it to them. And then you still have the napkin here, so then you can just take the napkin and clean up, which is the easy part. Or you can have them pull it out. So you reach underneath, slide the card, lift up the corner, slide the card out a little bit. Say, can you see the card right there? And have them reach in, grab the corner of the card, and tell them just to pull. They pull. They can actually feel it coming through the glass because of the glass piece in your hand. It feels like it's actually coming through the glass. They pull the card out, or if you pull it out, then you just take off the napkin, and the piece of glass. Ball it up a little bit. Ball it up just in a mess. Then just put it in your pocket. Walk away, you're done. Just remember, you don't need all the cards for this effect. So you need half the pack for the first part and half the pack for the second part. Take half the pack, ask them to examine your napkin, ask them to examine the glass. You're going to reach in and you get your glass piece. So they're over here examining the glass. Get your glass piece and palm it. You take the napkin back from them with this hand. Keep this hand face down. As you go and just grab the napkin, turn it face up and hold it. Ask them to examine the glass. Do a leg turnover again of this card. Put it underneath. In one motion. Leg turnover. Turn back this way. The card goes underneath. Pack goes on top. Come over to the window. Spread the cards. Do your spring. And you're ready. Here's another version of liquid that's even better. It's more hands-free for you. Makes it look more clean. The way this works is you're going to need some magician's wax, which you can get at any magician store. You're going to put one in this corner, one in this corner, one in this corner. Leave one corner free. The card is going to be loaded on, so the card's going to be loaded on and sticking to the side with one wax piece. So you still have this side over here with a wax piece here and a wax piece here. These two hold onto the window. This one just holds the card on there. So then it goes on the window with cover of the napkin and it sticks. So now you're left in this position with the glass piece right here and the card sticking out. And you've got the cover of the napkin and they're holding the napkin. So this enables you to get ready, pull your sleeves up and everything. Then reach up. The napkin's still here. You rip through, show them that their card's on the other side, let them feel it. And go through the top. Pull their card out, cover with the napkin, and clean it the same way. Just peel the piece of glass off. Hand them their card. At this point, all the attention is going to be on their card. So you hand that to them. Everybody's freaking out. Then if there's any smudges you see on the glass, you still have the napkin in your hand. So you can just casually wipe away with the napkin. And you're left clean. Then just ditch this in your pocket and you're ready to go. So you load the piece of glass on there. Keep your hands right here. Ask them, could you hold this side for me? And you hold this side for me. Once they hold the side, your hand's still here just in case the card's showing through. Your hand's still covering that. They start holding the side, bring your card fan up. Slowly go over. And they visually see another card on the other side of the napkin. You then reach through the napkin. Show them one card's on the other side of the glass. That card is their card. And ask them to keep holding the napkin. You're still going to reach through. Pull the card out. And you're still clean. For the second part of this, you don't need your glass or anything else but your pack of cards. So you've got half the cards that have fallen from the window. They're on the ground, probably by now. You just need your other half that you've had waiting for you. They're holding on to their card. Let's say their card is just the two of spades. They're holding on to their card. Now what you need to do is ask them to put their card back. Double the cards, have them place their card back in the pack. Two of spades. You can have them sign it if you want. Jewel the rest of the cards on top. What you're going to need to do here is hold a break. which is just sticking the little part of your pinky inside. Their card's right here on top, below your pinky, and the rest of these cards you don't need are on top right here, above your pinky. Then you're going to double undercut or do any sort of control you want to get that card at the top. So square the cards, still holding the break, and you're going to take the break with your thumb. So now your thumb's holding it. Then you're going to do the double undercut and pull down half the pack from the bottom with your pinky, place it on top, put on the other half from below your thumb, put it on top. So now you've got their card on top into a space. Now what you're going to need to do is, say we've got your card lost, right? You're going to need, just come up, you're going to need to lick your two fingers. So just in a natural motion, come up, maybe just playing with your chin or scratching your face. Get some spit on your tongue, take two fingers, and just lick your two fingers. Once you have your fingers licked, you're going to come down and just rub them on the middle of the card right here. Make sure they're kind of wet, pretty wet, alright? Rub them on the middle of the card right here. Don't sit there and lick your fingers constantly, just do it once. Get some spit on your tongue, don't swallow like a lot, and just rub it right here on the middle of the card. Then you're going to need to do a top palm. I'm just going to teach you two-hand top palm right here. You push forward just a little bit of one card, come over with your other hand, lever that card into your hand, and you've got their card palmed. Just in a squaring motion. You're going to push with your thumb just a little bit, barely. You don't really need that much. Push your card forward, come over, push down so their card pops up into your hand. Lever the card into your hand. So you're pushing up just a little bit, coming forward, pushing down, and levering that card into your palm. So now you got their card palmed. You got their card palmed, and you got spit on their card. Then you're going to dribble the cards onto the table. So you've got this card palmed. You're just going to take your other hand and dribble the cards, spreading them on the table. So this is going to be your cover. You can make this as big as you want. Try to make this as big as you can get it. And then your cover. Keep this hand down naturally by your side. You're then going to ask them, can you put your hand under here for me? And without the cover, this is what's going to happen. You're going to reach your hand in like this, palm down, so they can't see the card. Once it gets underneath the huge pile of cards, get it as close to the glass as you can and turn it over. Then you're going to grip it between your pinky and pointer and use your thumb and just flip it over and stick it right underneath the cards. It's not going to stick now because it's not wet, but it's wet and it'll stick right underneath the cards. So with the cover, you've got a big mess all over the table. Their card's been licked and it's been underneath, come up, and as soon as this is what needs to happen. See, I've got the card planted, it's not palmed anymore. This needs to be quick, alright? You need to do that as quick as possible. You stick your hand in. Could you hold your hand underneath for me? Stick the card on, then move your hand immediately down. This gives the impression that you just move your hand underneath. Say, could you hold your hand down here for me? And just asking them and showing them where to hold their hand instead of just planting the card and then moving down. Then you go in, plant the card, boom, hold your hand underneath for me, please. Come up, put your presentation into this. You're making the cards heat. I'm going to move the cards back so you can see what's happening. If you've got the card stuck here, your hands are down. This is where build up. This gives you time for build up. The spit's going to take time to dry, so this gives you time for build up and suspension of what's about to happen. They're holding their hands underneath. They're going to see the card fall through and they're going to feel it. Two things are going to happen at once. You're just going to let the card work itself, let everything, the magic do itself. All you're doing right now is acting, putting presentation into this. and then eventually the card will fall. They'll feel it hit their hand, and they'll see it fall too. Ask them to bring it up. By then, the card will be dry, so it won't be any spit on it. Ask them to bring it up, turn it over, and it's their card through the window. They can hold on to that. It's all theirs. For everybody who wanted a liquid that you can actually go on the other side and pull the card through, keep it even visual, and still, this is a new approach to the effect. This is for you. We use card 4 hearts. You'll use, what you need is a smaller glass piece, which I just got from a picture frame or something. That you have an old picture frame you have laying around the house, you can go buy one. Just a smaller, has to be smaller than a card. Smaller than the back of a card. So what you're gonna do is put this card up to the window so it's visual for people on the back and visual for people on the front. But you start out with this in your pocket. You have your normal glass piece. Everything about this is just like your normal glass piece, and you've got your napkin. But for this you might need something thicker, darker, like just a darker napkin or a newspaper works fine because they can hold it. It's easy for them to hold. It's big. It's easy to work with. But for this, I'll use a small tissue so you guys can see through it actually to see what's going on a little bit. Everything about this is just like the old liquid. You load everything. You go up to the window with the napkin, the cards, and everything. And I want to move the napkin so you can see everything. Just like the normal liquid. Everything's loaded onto the window. You just ripped it, and now you're revealing their cards on the other side of the glass so they can feel it. You're then going to have them hold the newspaper, cover up the little rip. You're going to go underneath, and you're going to say, let's see if I can actually reach through and try to pull your card back through. You're going to say, if this doesn't work, we might need to go around to the other side. You're not going to pull the card out. You're going to palm the glass piece and the card off. They're holding the newspaper, so all this is covered. Palm off and say, we're going to need to go to the other side. Drop this down just by your side. So you're walking to the other side of the window. The audience is all on the opposite side of the glass. You can bring a person with you, the person you're doing this for, so it's visual for them. If you want to bring a whole crowd with you, you're going to need to have another little napkin with you. You can bring as many people with you as you want. Ask them to grab a napkin, hand you the napkin. Load it the same way, except this time it's face down as a normal liquid. You're going to go up to the window with everything. As you set it on there, say I'm going to try to pull this through. The other people can look at it. By now you've switched the glass. The easiest way to do this is to, as you're walking, just casually reach into your pocket, because they don't know you're holding anything. They think you're just walking to the other side. Ask them to grab a napkin, grab a napkin yourself. Reach into your pocket, switch the glass pieces, and come out with, when you're ready, with the opposite glass piece. This glass piece is going to go behind the card. And you're going to load, just as we taught earlier, load this glass piece on to the napkin. You still need a dark napkin. Put it up to the window. And now you can ask the other audience on the other side to confirm that the card's still there. So they can take the newspaper down for now and see that the card's still on the other side of the glass. You're going to rip open right here and show that the card still is on the other, that the card's still on the glass. They can even feel it. But now it's even more than a card through window right now. The audience on the other side sees the card through the glass. And the audience on this side sees the card through the glass. So not only did it pass through the glass, now the card's stuck in the middle of the glass. People over here can confirm it. People on that side confirm it. They can see it. And because the glass piece is shorter, they can't see any glass around it. You can even use a smaller glass piece if you have problems with the edges showing, because all you need the glass for is for these people over here to be able to feel, and you can have them tap on just a small section of glass. All you need is a small section of glass. They can tap on it, they can feel it, that the card is actually on in the middle of the glass. People on that side can see it, people over here can see it, and both of them can feel it. You then ask them to replace the newspaper, or ask them to cover both. Ask them to use both hands and cover the card and just push. You say, I'm going to push 2. Push with this hand on the glass. Since they're pushing on the glass, they can't see anything, so you might feel something. They're pushing on the glass, which is covering you pulling the card out. These people over here are going to see you visually pull the card through the glass, through the middle of the glass. It's actually in the middle. To the audience, it's in the middle of the solid glass. Reach up, do the same reveal we taught earlier, and since they're over there with their pushing on the glass, we're going to ask them to replace the newspaper. I like to have them push on the glass so it's even more, like there's less things like covering. Reveal the card, pull it out slowly, show them over here. You need to take the glass down, you need to turn, you need to immediately go to your side. You're gonna want to pull it to the side though, so the audience over here on this side can see it being pulled through, but they can't see the glass piece because their hands are covering it. Try to cover this as much as you can with the tissue. It'll be hard to see looking through the glass and looking at the tissue because all the attention will be on this card over here. Bring this down by your side, ditch it, hand them the card, walk around, just let everybody look at the card. That's all the way to the glass. Hello and welcome to Target by Erickson Mattis. This is a great effect, it's very visual. I've taken Eric's handling and I've modified it and I've come up with this, which I hope you guys enjoy. So thank you, Eric, for sharing this with me and Dave. It's a great effect, very visual. For this you need your pack of cards, Magician's Wax, an Expo marker, permanent marker, and your glass gimmick. You're going to take your glass gimmick and you're going to draw an X through it and a box around the edges. So there's black around the edges and an X in the middle. If you don't want to use glass, which later on it might get heavy for some of you and you might not like that, it might be hard to handle, you can always use like these card holders. You just cut out the plastic from that and it works just as well. I like to use glass because we're working with real glass on a window and it just looks real. You also need your Magician's Wax, which is the simplest way I found to do this effect. Is you're going to need 2 pieces for the card beforehand. One piece goes in the corner, one piece goes in the middle, one piece right here, one piece right here. If you don't want to load it before the effect, you can always put it on your thumbnail, and load it on later, which I found is more complicated, but it's what you want to do. So you can have any free selection of the card, and you can do that, it's fine. You want to do a riffle force. So have that card on the top, but make sure the wax doesn't touch anything else. Cut their card, which is just gripping with your thumb and your 2 fingers up here, and lifting up with your index into this hand, and completing the cut, but holding a break. Hold kind of a big break so the wax doesn't touch any of the other cards. Ask them just to call out stop for you anytime. They call it stop, and no matter where they call it stop at, you lift up from your break. So they call it stop. They call it stop at the 4. You would lift up from the back at your break. So you're holding your break. They call out stop. I'm holding these kind of big so you can see it to illustrate it. So your break's up here. They call it stop. Down here, you'd go down and cut at your break. You would then lift the card up vertical to show it. Put it up out of the deck, close the pack, and spread the cards. So this way, they don't get a handle of the card because the wax is on the back. Ask them to sign the card from here. Hand them a Sharpie, ask them to sign the card. They sign it. Take the pack. See the wax? It's not coming in contact with any of the other cards. It's right here if you can't see it, and right here. Lift up from the back. So you're lifting so the wax doesn't touch anything from the back, and you're pushing their card in. You're then going to close it at the front, come down, double undercut their card to the top, and you're ready to go. So their card's now on top. You're then going to have them check out the glass, check out the marker. They examine the marker, they examine the glass, everything's good, everything's clean. You then need to talk to them about glass, use your presentation. Their presentation comes in good. Take your expo marker, and you need to draw a box. Now there are a couple of options of doing this. You can either draw several boxes, getting from a big one to smaller, or you can take another card out, have them hold it while you trace around it, which is what I usually do. So I just bring out another card. Talk to them about targets. Say this card's going to act as sort of our model for our target. Have them hold the card. Or you can even have them trace around it if you don't want to touch the glass or anything to make it seem even more fair. It's right if you're messy. You're out there doing magic on the street. They don't expect you to be an artist. Even though you are an artist. Have them hold it, they can trace it, or you can trace it. Once you get good at that, you can be able to just kind of estimate and draw the box normal and about the size. But if you don't want to use the card and you don't want to have to sit here and try to be really good at drawing this box, you can draw the box a little bit smaller than the size of a playing card. That way, later on, the difference is not noticeable at all, and they can't see the box behind it because you've got the glass and the card covering it. So that's what I usually prefer to do, is just, if I don't want to have them trace the card, then, or you trace the card, then you can just draw a box that's a little bit smaller than the size of a playing card. Nobody will notice that, so don't worry about it. You also need to set up your glass piece. So let's take a break from the performance for a minute. Set up your glass piece. You need one piece of wax. Small piece is fine. It goes on the back of where you drew your X. So the opposite side of where you drew your X. Right behind the black, so they can't see it. So it goes right behind the black. It's right there. So you wouldn't be able to see it that well from the front. Then what you're going to do is you're going to, right, this goes in your pocket. Your left pocket if you need, if you like, whichever pocket you're comfortable with. And you're going to come down and do a leg turnover of this card, which we've explained before. So you do your leg turnover, but keep a break. Then transfer this packet to your right hand. So right if the wax touches, that's okay. It won't stick that well. And you keep the break. Transfer the break to your right hand. So you've done your leg turnover. You hold the pack down. You transfer it to this hand. You're going to come up with the glass piece, glass piece is in your pocket, your left pocket, whichever hand. If you're a different hand, then transcend all this to your other hand. And ask them to examine the glass one more time, examine the box. You can even ask them to draw an X through the box if you'd like. So if you got your piece here, you got this piece here, you're going to come out of your pocket. You're going to load this card onto here. So it's like a big motion covers the small motion. So in the motion of turning towards the glass, you're going to load this on here and stick this card to the glass piece. So the big motion of you turning your body is going to cover the small motion of you pulling this out of your pocket and loading it onto the piece. The X has already been drawn, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the X. You have the break. Say, now watch. Talk to them about the penetration of glass, the liquid properties and everything. Build them up. Build this effect up. Say, now watch. Pull this out of your pocket and at the same time turn your body. Bring these two hands together and load the card. So the bigger motion here covers the smaller motion. This comes out of your pocket, which I already got the card loaded on here. Comes out of your pocket. This goes down as you turn towards the window and put all that on the window. So the bigger motion of you turning your body covers the smaller motion of the loading of the glass. So the glass comes out of your pocket. This goes down as you turn. Now as you turn and keep going towards the glass, you're going to need to reverse the glass piece and the card. Do that by lifting up with your fingers, holding the deck, and pulling down with the curled fingers on the card and the glass piece. And using the deck and everything else just to flip that piece over. So that's just, as you're doing this way, you turn your body, lift up, pinky pulls down, and use your cards and everything just to flip that over as you're going towards the window. So you load the card, turn as you go towards the window, put everything on the window, keep it kind of covered, press the glass piece and the card and everything together. Press hard so it sticks. You're going to riffle up the deck, getting almost all the deck except for a few cards. You're going to let those few cards fall. Or even better, you can just hold on to these. Leave some cards there. Say we still got our X here in our box. One hand fan these cards. So you're holding everything over here with this hand. You're going to take the rest of the pack, fan them out, come in front of everything, drop the few cards, and slowly just reveal. Now the card is now behind the window. Now you have to make sure that you line everything up perfectly when you set the deck and everything else on there. With this right here. This is covered because everything's covered because mine is wiped away by now since I've been handling this with an Expo marker throughout this whole entire effect. But the black edge on the glass piece will blend in with the black around it. So the black edge on the glass piece blends in with the black around it. So at the beginning when you draw your box, you should make the black edge. You should try to get it as close to the size of the normal card as you can and then make it thicker. So the black edge of the glass piece blends in with the black on the glass. So from your angle, from up close I can see it. But they're going to be a few feet back. Be like, step back, I just want you, step back and watch. I don't want like anything to happen, just watch. Then you come out to your fan, which all the fan is you're holding with these fingers. and your thumb is coming back and pushing those cards out. So it's just a fan. And slowly, boom, the card's there. I can just say we can take a paper towel here, and you can wipe everything away and pick up everything and just carry that off, and you're done with that. And they can tell them to check the window, they can wipe it. Or if you want, you could come back with a fan. Tell them we're going to try to get your card back through. And just grab it with as you go by. Grab it with the fingers that are underneath. This is kind of hard and it might end up falling, which is usually why I use a napkin or something. So we're just going to wipe your card away. Begin to wipe. Make a wipe and pull it up though, so pull the piece off first, so the wax doesn't wipe all over the window. So we're just going to wipe. Make a wiping motion. Keep the glass piece covered with your hands unless you have a big cocktail napkin. Begin to wipe. Say we might need a few. Grab a whole bunch. Start to wipe. And this slowly, you can wipe most of the box away. Palm off those napkins. As they're trash, put them in your pocket. You can see some of the box still here. You can examine it. Or if you want to leave most of the box there, you don't have to wipe it away. You don't have to do the one long wipe. You can just mime the wiping actions. Let go so their card's gone. And you can reproduce it from your pocket, reproduce it from anywhere you like. Or you don't have to reproduce it at all. But if you reproduce it, you can just stick all the gimmick in your pocket, go on to a later effect and say, wait, you signed a card earlier. Maybe a transposition effect, something like that. Or you could do it like traditional surgical liquid is. You have the glass piece and everything on there, the card on there. You can lift up on the glass piece. Put the napkins up there, lift up on the glass piece. Use the napkins as cover, pull their card back through the X. And show them the X that's still on the window, which mine's wiped away right now, so you can't see it that well. But put the napkins up as if you're going to wipe the card away. Lift up on the glass piece. Pull their card out. Say we got your card. Ditch these in your pocket. Come back and make sure that you peel off the pieces of wax onto your fingers and your thumb as you show their card. You can even hand it to them, and you're left clean. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the liquid card through window. Like I said, think of some ideas for this. Use everything around you. It's an amazing card through window that you can actually just put a signed card on the other side of a glass that you have never had access to before and you don't need access to. Think of this, reaching up with a thumb tip, put some water in it, put some plastic wrap around it and a rubber band to keep the water in and the plastic wrap on. Put it in your pocket, do this effect, palm out the thumb tip into an aquarium. Puncture the thumb tip with your thumb so the water goes out onto the napkin. And for a brief second increase the illusion that there was actually a hole that you reached through to get the card out. Because the napkin's wet, hand them the card's wet. Clean up with the napkin, the glass, and the thumb tip. And put that away. Just think of ideas like that. If you'd love to hear ideas, contact me or David. You can reach us through the site. I hope you've enjoyed this effect, and I hope you will use it as much as we have. Thank you.